Hey, what's going on, people? Tony here, and welcome back to another episode of TTBurger Game Reviews. And this is episode 118. This is going to be another multi-part review here. Now, before I get started, you're probably wondering, why are you dressed up in those fancy glasses and this goofy-looking hat and stuff? Well, since we're in the month of March, we celebrate St. Patrick's Day, so I decided to get into the holiday spirit by wearing these glasses and the hat and stuff. Even though I'm not Irish at all, I just like getting into the spirit and stuff. Now, I have been looking at Namco games a lot lately. Like I last covered the Ridge Racer series and stuff for episode 117, and I decided to look at some more Namco games here, and I want to talk about Namco's popular mascot at the time called Pac-Man. Now, everyone when growing up in the 80s and 90s, and even today knows who Pac-Man is. He started off as that arcade game in the 1980s and stuff, actually 1980 to be exact, where it was a simple concept: eat all the pellets and all the power pellets and avoid the enemies and stuff and the ghosts and stuff, and that was to advance to get the high score and stuff, and that's basically what it was. And that's basically how Pac-Man started off. And I'm going to give a shout out to a good friend of mine who I've known since high school. Her name is CC Gamer 88, and she's a big fan of Pac-Man, and even a master of Pac-Man. Gets the high score and stuff like that, and it impresses me on how far she got in the game and stuff. It's just crazy, because like I wish I was as good as her. So CC Gamer 88, this is for you, and I hope you enjoy this multi-part review here. And come to think of it, we're in the year 2020, and this marks the 40-year anniversary of Pac-Man. It's crazy that Pac-Man has been around for about 40 years, and it's just crazy. And we're going to celebrate the 40-year anniversary by reviewing some Pac-Man games here, and this is divided up into 5 parts here. Part 1, we're going to look at Pac-Man World 20th Anniversary. Part 2, we're going to look at Ms. Pac-Man's Maze Madness. Part 3, Pac-Man World 2. Part 4, Pac-Man World 3. And then finally, for Part 5, Pac-Man World Rally. Now, we got a lot to talk about here. Let's get started with talking about Pac-Man World 20th Anniversary for the PlayStation and the Game Boy Advance. Look at the PlayStation version. It's the only version I have. I don't own a Game Boy Advance anymore and stuff. And this game was actually released in late 1998, a little bit before the 20th anniversary stuff, but since the 20th anniversary was coming up, that's why I decided to release it. Now, this was the first Pac-Man game released in 3D and stuff. Now, I know we had Pac-Man Arrange and Pac-Mania and stuff, but this is the first Pac-Man game released in full 3D and stuff. And to be honest with you all here, it works really, really well. It originally did start off as an open-world game titled Pac-Man Ghost Zone, but the developers of Namco were unhappy with the idea, so they scrapped it and started over. And what we get here is a great game for the most part, but it does have a couple problems with it though that I'm going to talk about. Now, as we start here, we see the opening cutscene here, which shows the Pac-Man house and stuff, and it talks about the story here. And the story is Pac-Man celebrating his 20th birthday or anniversary or whatever. When he arrives and he finds his house deserted and stares at his friends and family members have been kidnapped by the evil Toc-Man that's taken him to Ghost Island. Pac-Man now embarks on a quest to Ghost Island to rescue his friends and family and to defeat Toc-Man for good. And it's a great story. It doesn't need to be anything epic or in-depth and stuff like that. It's just basically a story to move the game along. And what could you do with Pac-Man stuff is a thing? Yeah, good question there, definitely. And it's a great story there overall. I mean, I can't spoil much of the story because we're not here to talk about the story or talk about the game in general. That's basically what we do here. Now, as we get into the game here, the presentation here is fantastic. The graphics are great, and like you got great looking character models and enemy models, and the Pac-Man character model looks great, and the cutscenes look nice too, full 3D for the first time, and the graphics overall look great and colorful. They have that Pac-Man feel to them, and they feel like Pac-Man altogether and stuff. It's like what you can only do so much with making a 3D Pac-Man game. This is where they succeeded here, definitely, and all the care and effort and the detail going into Pac-Man and his friends, it's like they couldn't do it any better than that, and they did a great job. And also, you have a very smooth frame rate throughout the whole game. There's like no slowdown whatsoever. I mean, I didn't notice any slowdown, so that's just me though. But I did not notice any slowdown. It's a very smooth frame rate. Now we gotta talk about the sound here. The sound will start with the voice acting. There isn't much voice acting in the game. It's basically like with the ghost characters and Toc-Man talking in the opening cutscene, a couple other cutscenes and stuff. But pretty much all I can say about the voice acting. The voice acting is good. It's like if you don't really care for the voice acting stuff, the voice acting is still good. It's like the voice acting is good. It's just good. It's just good. For music here, I like the music. The music is like a big variety of background tunes are like fit the theme. Like you got the pirate theme where you have like pirate-like themes, and you got like a space theme and like a rune and like mines that like they all sound great. And for the sound effects, you got classic sound effects you heard from like previous Pac-Man games, like the original Pac-Man stuff, and you like when you get hit and stuff, that you have that dying sound and stuff, and that's really cool that they added that there. And they got the other sounds when you're jumping and walking around, which sound good as well. But now let's get into the gameplay here, and the gameplay is fun and innovative, but there are a few problems with it, which I will talk about later on. But like for the most part, the game is awesome. I enjoy it a lot. I mean, the game is awesome. Like you have 3 modes to choose from: Quest, Maze, and Classic. Quest is basically the main mode of the game where you're trying to rescue your friends from Ghost Island and your family. And the gameplay is basically a 2.5D 3D platformer, kind of similar to the game Klonoa Door to Phantom Isle, which is also made by Namco at the same time. And your goal is to reach the end of the level. Along the way, you will collect pellets and power pellets and other items and stuff like that as well, like fruit to open fruit doors and stuff like to like help you collect items like that and to collect all the fruits there to get more points and stuff. You will fight level enemies along the way, along with ghost enemies, which will only be killed with power pellets and eating them. So like in the classic arcade games, most of the time in like the quest mode, they don't respawn back, so that's a new thing there. And you go around finding fruit to collect points to open these fruit doors that contain switches and pellets and letters that spell the word Pac-Man. And you can grant you access to the bonus levels too if you spell the word Pac-Man and stuff. You also find Galaxian ship tokens that open doors to like new mazes you can unlock. You can play the mazes over again, like in the maze mode and stuff. And the mazes are a lot of fun. Like they had the feel of the original game stuff in 3D, so like it shows that like they can improve on the original game and do it with this 3D reboot here. And there are tons of mazes in the game, tons of mazes. Some of them that take place underwater. Some of them that have like traps and obstacles to trick you and stuff. And you take more than one hit in this, just like in the quest mode and stuff. Like you have like 3-4 hits and you're dead and stuff. So a good like up the challenge there and stuff that and up like the balance and stuff. And you also have hub worlds too, and there's like you can just the hub worlds like just you go from point A to point B and stuff, and you gotta get a big variety of each world you go into. Like you got the pirate theme, the mine theme, the space theme, the funhouse theme, the mansion theme, and more and more and more. And of course, like that's pretty much what I gotta say about the quest mode. I pretty much already talked about maze mode, how you can play any of the mazes you unlock in quest mode, and it's funny if you want to take a break from like playing quest mode and stuff. And the classic mode here is just basically a port of the original arcade game there, and it's a great one at that. Sometimes there could be some sound glitches here and there and stuff, but that's not really a major problem for me though. But now, since I've got all the goods out of the way, we gotta talk about the downsides here. There is a lot of backtracking throughout the quest mode to find certain items required to beat the levels, and that can be annoying because like you could be almost at the end and then you realize like you gotta go back and get an item because you missed it or so, or you gotta find it and stuff. And some of the boss fights can be very unfair. Like the boss fights are great, but like it's just some of them can be very unfair. Like Anubis Rex and King Galaxian. They are very hard at that, and they're frustrating, and they're very cheap and just unfair. Where you really just get frustrated and want to give up and stuff, and just it's very tough. Like they can be tough, but once you get the hang of it and stuff, it gets better. And also the Game Boy Advance version is just awful. Like it's very linear. There's no there's no like hub world and stuff, and just like the game is much shorter stuff because of the technical limitations of the Game Boy Advance. It's the Game Boy Advance version just not worth getting. So what's our final thoughts here on, well, actually before I say, there's not really much else to say about Pac-Man World 20th Anniversary. It was a great way to celebrate Pac-Man's 20th anniversary by bringing this classic little 2D arcade character to the PlayStation 1 here and stuff, and they did a great job with it to celebrate his 20th anniversary, 20th birthday and stuff, and they showed a lot of care and effort went into it, and Namco did a great job with it. So what's my final thoughts here, final verdict? Well, if you love Pac-Man and you want some of your Pac-Man fix, and you want to play the first full 3D Pac-Man stuff like that back better than ever, definitely pick this game up because it's definitely worth it in the end, definitely. Due to the complaints I have with like being a lot of backtracking throughout the quest mode to find the items, and like some of the boss fights can be unfair and stuff, I'm gonna have to take some points off for it, and I'll probably be giving this game a 9 out of 10 because of the problems there. I gotta take points off for it. There's no way I'd better give it a perfect 10 because of this. So that's just me though, and it's a great game. And if you want your fix on Pac-Man for the PlayStation, check it out because you'll not know what you're missing. And that's it for this part. Stay tuned for episode 118 part 2. We're gonna give Ms. Pac-Man some love here in her first 3D Ms. Pac-Man game here. Ms. Pac-Man's Maze Madness. Now, how does this game hold up to Pac-Man World 20th anniversary? Stay tuned to find out. I'm not telling you now, because we're on part 1. We're talking about Pac-Man World 20th anniversary. We're not talking about Ms. Pac-Man Maze Madness yet. Want to find out what I think about this game? Stay tuned for episode 118, part 2. Which all I gotta say is Tony. Peace out, and have a great day, everybody.